much time do you spend doing what you most love to do? The thing that brings you joy, the thing that you don't have to think, you don't have to perform, you don't have to overcompensate. It comes to you naturally. It's almost like a breath of fresh air to serve and to give in this way. The thing that you most love to do, are you able to put a number to it? Even if it's like minutes a day here and there, hours a day here and there. What does that look like for you? Daily, weekly, monthly? We're going to talk about it today. I'm going to share with you what I think is how much time I'm spending doing what I most love to do, which is called your zone of genius, which is what the author calls it in this book, The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. This is the book that's really anchoring this year for me because I feel like I'm expanding, I'm elevating, I'm entering new territory, and I'm coming into the person that I know that I am, the woman that I know that I am. And so this has been very the book is gonna reach you for filth, all right? So if this is a lot, even the title, when I first read the title, I was like, God, what am I getting myself into? I've been reading this book for 3 years, by the way. But I recently found out about the daily devotional. Changed the game for me. Bite size every day, less pressure. If you haven't even read the book, start with a daily devotional. So much less pressure, and it gives you things to think about on a daily basis, things to reflect on. You find out about all of the key points in the book. But if you want to dive around in, just dive. Okay? If you know that you're supposed to be where you're supposed to be and you've been hard-headed, all right. So I wanted to read you the daily devotional that inspired today's video. All right. It's this is from day 16 from last week. Tracking your genius. Today I offer you a bold possibility, something I practice with great benefit. I found that my genius emerged faster when I tracked it. At first, I tracked my genius in minutes because I wasn't spending enough genius time. I like that he called it genius time every day to track it in hours. However, as I often tell my students, genius is addictive. Within a few months of tracking the minutes each day I was doing what I most loved to do, I found I was counting it in hours. Today's leap gives you a simple way to get started. All right? Your leap of the day. It's so short. It's like literally so short. Look at your calendar for yesterday, today, this week. Scan through the days, your activities, hour by hour. Count the number of minutes or hours you were doing what you most love to do. When I first started doing this, I was surprised to find how few minutes I was actually in my genius. Tracking it became a motivational tool for me, as I hope it will be for you, for me, and for you too. Going forward, note the minutes you spend in the flow of your genius and watch them turn into hours. All right. So that is a devotional. I have my calendar opened here. I'm going to turn on all my calendars. How do y'all use Google Calendar? It's going to look a little crazy, but these are all the calendars I'm currently working with. Okay, my calendar, which is like when I book meetings. This is like, the generic Google Cal, obviously tasks. I have a yearly roadmap where I lay out things I'm looking forward to that year, but I don't want to see it every day. But it's like, this is like my dream calendar where I'm like, I want to take a trip here. I want to do this here. I want to go to that conference. I map things out there. I have a calendar for my business. I have a calendar where I track my daily activities. I took a nap. I washed my hair. Daily things, like a day in the life is literally called DITL. And then I have health and wellness, my work calendar. I have a calendar for open calls. So when I have grants on my radar, I will put them in here. Birthdays and other things. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8. We don't have to keep counting. That's not the point of this video. So it's good because I don't have to see everything all the time. Sometimes I can be like, I just want to see my business calendar. Turn everything else off. Boom. I just want to see how I spend my week. Turn everything else off. Boom. I want to see how I treated myself, which is not the same thing as how I spend my day. Because spending my day is errands. I'm running errands. But the health and wellness one is like, I did something nice for myself, So I'm turning on all the calendars, including my work calendar, and we're gonna go through the past week and see what happened. I'm pretty good. I track pretty much every minute of my day. This is last week. I track every moment of my day as best as I can help it, because my brain does this thing where it's like, you don't get anything done in a day, girl. You didn't do anything today. And I'm like, girl, I said that to myself earlier. I was like, dang, I feel bad because I didn't do much today. Because I took a nap. I'm waking up from a nap. And I was like, girl, you literally recorded 2 videos as soon as you woke up this morning. I recorded, caption, title, scheduled. And you gonna tell me I did nothing? That's why you track your zone of genius. Track it, because your brain will try to tell you, girl, you got nothing done. So let's get into it. Let's see how much time I spent last week and doing the things I love to do most. I'm not even gonna think about my zone of genius. The things that, like, I just loved spending time doing this thing. All right, let's see. Monday, I spent a good portion of my day doing research on moving abroad. That brought me so much joy. That brought me so much joy. And I think, like, sometime this week I was like, wait, doing research actually brings me joy. Like, I love doing research. I love a deep dive into a specific topic, not just like a pop culture, like diving into like whatever random rabbit holes on TikTok, but like genuinely doing research and learning about something new. Something catches my eye and I was like, you know what, if I want to sit and watch a couple of YouTube videos on it, some tutorials, some experiences of people, like information gathering, that actually we're writing stuff down. We're writing stuff down. So moving research / info gathering. I love it. I can spend all my time doing this. And even with my own projects, it's like I do a lot of research. When I have an idea in mind, I dig in. How can I bring this concept to life? How has it been done in different ways? I dig in, and then I pitch my ideas, so I can be able to bring in different perspectives from different people. So I love spending that. So yeah, I spent 6 hours last Monday doing moving research, y'all. I was looking at a couple of different countries, and actually, not really, no. It was very clear. But I got to know kind of like, what the country is like politically, what are their values like when it comes to, family values, security, when it comes to how safe are Black women in that country. Hello? When it comes to how I would be there as an entrepreneur, what is the creative energy like, the artistic energy like there, because I want to, when I get to the new place, I want to be like an active member of society, and I want to connect with the community, and I want to be like, that's very important for me. What is the faith like? What, like, how can I find community? How can I make friends? How likely is that for me? Work-life balance, how much do they value health and wellness, work-life balance and things. I dug in. All right. So that's what I spent my time doing. And then after that, I spent some time working on my business. I designed some things. I drafted a grant application. And that brought me a lot of joy. I love to do this. Like, I finished designing my creative brief so I can start sharing it with mentors. And then copywriting. I spent, is that from 6 to 9 p.m. I was like copywriting. So that's a full day of being in my genius. Hello. Copywriting. All right. Next day. Some more research in the morning. So like while I'm on my way to work, I just like had a couple videos playing in the background where I was like learning about the history of different countries. Again, digging in, information gathering, and then work. I joined in. I liked it. I don't love it. I think it's my zone of excellence more than my zone of genius, but I joined in this like this lunchtime Zoom thing for curators, and it was a cool time, but I don't love, I get very anxious. I get very anxious, and I'm like, I have to make sure I say something. My leadership coach says when you're sitting down you have to say something. And so it was cool, but I was more nervous than that being my zone of genius. I don't know, that I would consider my zone of genius. Okay. um and then, oh yes, I spent some time reviewing um some resumes for the Launchpad. It's, oh, I don't know the names for real, but there is, it's like a museum conference, basically, like, you know, like a art professionals network, where they, leading up to an event that they were, a virtual event that they were having, they also did like the opportunity for, they gave folks the opportunity to have their resumes reviewed by museum professionals. And I was like, sure, like, I filled out the thing, and I was like, sure, I would be happy to review some resumes. And I did not realize how much joy it would bring me to be reviewing people's resumes. Like, I promise you, I was like, what? I mean, it makes sense with the copywriting, but I promise you, I didn't know. I didn't know, because like I'm always like, yeah, yeah, let me take a look at it, please. Like, it goes back to copywriting. I'm just gonna write it next to it. Resume review. Resume review. I think I have a thing for copywriting. I'm just like, give me whatever you have. I can pick it up from there. Like, I'm really, really good at that. I'm working with a friend who is also a client on grant proposals that she wants to put together for her business. And a couple of people. I have a friend who is within the beauty space, who is looking to raise capital funding to develop some products. And I have a friend who is within the education, who is looking to yeah, get grants to do programming for Black girls. Shout out T. And so I love whatever you have, send it to me and I will review it. I didn't know. I promise you, I didn't know. I'm just like, oh, it's just because I'm good with marketing. It's just because I'm good with writing. No, I think there's something there. I think there's something in copywriting for me. And so reviewing that resume, the way I annihilated this girl's resume, but I had so much fun, and I was like, I hope she's like okay with the way that I was like, take this out, remove this, make sure you do this, da, 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 da. I need a year, I need your full title. Like, I was very thorough in my analysis. I think I gave her 30 plus comments on the Google Doc, and I didn't even fully go in. I didn't even fully go in. That was like me holding back. I gave her 30 comments. I was like, you're grown. She works with, she's like a registrar for within the art space, and I'm like, girl, they need registrars. What do you mean you're unemployed, not able to get a job, girl? Like, let's make sure your resume is up to par. She was like down talking herself a lot. This is something that I had to do. I reviewed, I will talk about that too. I spent some time last week reviewing my own resume, and so I talked myself through it first. And so I know what it's like when you feel like, oh, can I really talk about this? Can I? No, push yourself, talk about yourself. Like, I love pushing people into purpose. I'm just gonna, pushing people into purpose is probably another thing in my zone of genius. But yeah, she has like different skills. Like, she's able to do like advisory, strategic work within the art space, but she's like playing herself like a, I'm just a little intern. She has a master's, she's been out of school for a while, and I'm just like, what? I don't I genuinely didn't understand. And so I'm like, oh, this is what the resume is. You, it's too wordy at the top. You started off with your education, you put your skills, you're putting random stuff. You, if you're grown and you're out of school, your resume is on the bottom. Also, I reviewed a resume last week for a college freshman. I reviewed a lot of resumes. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of resume reviewing. So part of it is for the Launchpad, reviewing resumes of museum professionals, but also I've been reviewing resumes for an intern that I'm hiring for my job at work. So it was just like a lot. So you have somebody with a lot of industry experience who is downplaying their capabilities, master degrees and everything, downplaying their capabilities, one pager. And then you have a college freshman with like 5 pages of a resume, which it was definitely like AI generated. because there was like blank pages in between. Girl, we're not gonna get into it, but I think I might start doing a little resume reviews. I'm gonna start asking like more friends if they want me to help them review their resumes, because there's definitely something there for me. As much as I'm happy with copywriting, I think there's something that I can start talking about more on here as well. Okay, so maybe I could do a video about resume reviews, resume mistakes that I'm seeing, resume mistakes. It's gonna be another video. Okay, so then I ended my day eating pizza and reading Hunger Games. That's my zone of genius, reading. Does that count? Okay, so that's Tuesday, resume review. Did I put that? And then, okay, next day, oh my gosh, full work day. Work. And then posting on Instagram. Updating my website. Yes, I did. Update website. Is that zone of genius? Like marketing. You know, I'm a marketing girl. What can I say? Okay, next day. Reviewing, and like last week was like a full week of reviewing resume materials. Nothing. Work. Check-in with mentors. Is that a zone of genius? I have to reread the chapter to really get a sense, but I love to do it. Don't think about zone of genius. Just think about I love to do this thing. And then like hanging with friends. Hang with friends as well. And I love to do this a lot. So I spent some time recording and planning, and then updating my own resume for 3 hours on Friday, like between 5 to 8 p.m. Okay, and then over the weekend, hung out with friends. I visited my artist friend. I also took some photos of him. Photography is, I would say, is my zone of excellence. This is the one that people are like, Lynn, this is your thing, this is your backstay here, but it burns me out. It pushes me. I'm great at it. I'm great. Everybody loves this gift, but it's my zone of excellence and my zone of genius. But my zone of genius, I would say, is more storytelling. So for example, I have my artist friend, Abu, who's like an amazing, prolific art. I can't even call him emerging. Like, how has the world not known about Abu? But I've been documenting his sculpture that he's been working on for maybe a year now on my Fujifilm. All the photos so far that I've taken of this project are on this Fujifilm, and next week I'm supposed to go back and take more pictures, but I think I want to keep document. I stumbled into it, and I love to do this. I love hanging out with him and hearing his stories, and documenting his project on this camera. All right. And then I spent the weekend doing laundry and cleaning and washing my hair and styling my hair, y'all. So that's how I spent my weekend. And then today, making videos. All right. So let's review all the things. What was the question again? How much time do I spend doing what I most love to do? I spent a lot of time this week doing what I most love to do. I did research about moving abroad, and that was like maybe 6 hours. Let's say at least 10 hours this last week I spent doing research. And my research, it's a mix of like reading articles, watching YouTube videos, strategic planning with ChatGPT, like a mix of all of the things. Okay? Information gathering, specifically about next phase of my life, copywriting. I spent a lot of time this week copywriting, and is it giving about 10 hours? If it's like 2 hours a day, 5 days, at least 2 hours a day, because it's more. I want to say 10 to 15. I spent 10 to 15 hours. I reviewed resumes. I gave feedback on resumes. I reviewed my own resume. Yeah, and interviewing as well. I didn't talk about interviewing, but I enjoy interviewing, getting to know people and getting to assess who is the best fit. I could have been a recruiter girl. I could have been like looking at an HR girl. Really assessing people's fit and being unbiased and just being like, let's see what you bring to this space. Pushing people into their purpose, like a lot of like, a bit of coaching. I want to say maybe I spent 4 hours doing that this week. Updating my website, working on my grant project, but like marketing strategy. Not as much time this week, but I would say maybe three hours this week doing that. Checking in with mentors. Is that my zone of genius? Well, I'll think about this later, but I really love to do it. I love to let people in on my projects, on things that I'm working on. And I want to say maybe that's an hour this week. Hang with friends. I want to say that's maybe, it was 2 hours, maybe 3 to 4 hours this week. Not as much. Recording and planning content. That's maybe 4 hours. I batch 3 days, batch 3 more days. That's about 4 hours. And then storytelling, hearing people's stories and things, that's 1 hour. But this is one of my favorite things, just sit and to talk to the people. So this is how much time? I lost count. Let's say 10, 20, 25, 30, 32, 31, 35. What did I say for that one? I said 4 hours. 39 and 1 hour 40. Wow, I spent 40 hours this week. Well, my interviews as well. 41. They were 2 30-minute interviews. 41. I spent 41 hours this week. What? Because I just move. I just go, and I didn't consider my day job, different aspects of it that bring me joy. It's my zone of excellence. I like it. I'm really good at my job. It's not my zone of genius. And it's not what I'm expecting. That's the thing. It's not going to be that obvious. It's not going to be the most like on the nose. It's not going to be, oh, photography is your thing. It's like, no, like strategic, long-term thinking, long-term planning, doing research, information gathering, positioning with copywriting for grants, copywriting for a resume. But how are you positioning yourself for the person you want to be? How are you positioning yourself on how you want partners to see you? Pushing people into purpose, updating my website, making sure that that information is up to date, marketing strategy. Sitting in conversation is very important to me as well. It's very refreshing. It gives me a moment for people to pour into me as well. Checking with my mentors. I sat in conversation with a mentor for like maybe 25 minutes and she just poured into me. Child, if my cup was like this going into the conversation, I was overflowing. And from that overflow, I'm able to share with my friends. Do you see? People who pour into me. Hung out with friends, hung out with my artist friend. I made art because I documented. We spent some time in his creative studio. I recorded videos and I planned. This is very special. This is very special that I'm able to see it. I'm very able to see it very clearly. I want to spend some more time sitting with this, and documenting some more, maybe like on a weekly basis. This can be like one of my, I love recurring video chat because I'd be like, what do y'all want me to talk about today? But this can be like a how I'm spending my time in my zone of genius, because I'm making daily commitments. I'm making daily commitments to show up for myself through this book. I'm making daily commitments to show up for my practice. I'm making daily commitments to pour into my work, my business, myself. I'm taking a big leap this year, y'all. A lot of big leaps. It's like, you see how the fish is going from this to this? It's like bowl to bowl to bowl to bowl to bowl before I can get to the big bowl. So this is me fighting for my life. This is very accurate. This is me. It's been rough. And this year is just like this year. When I tell you Godspeed, And all you have to do is obey. Just obey and move, you know? And so just having a clear idea of this is my zone of genius. I'm going to repeat it one last time. Information gathering, pouring into others, long-term vision planning and shaping, marketing strategy, checking in with mentors and friends, letting other people pour into me, recording these recordings and talking and just like processing as I go, life changing, and then storytelling and hearing other people's stories and uplifting others and pushing them into purpose. That's my zone of genius. So what about you? How much time have you spent in this past week, in this past month? This is intense because I'm a very intense person and I carry a lot of hats. But I feel so proud that I can say I spent 41 hours last week. 41 hours last week doing what I most love to do. And I would love that for you as well. I would love for you to be able to, whatever your number is, it don't have to be this. Maybe it's more. Maybe you spend maybe you derive so much joy from doing one thing and you did it every single day last week. Like, I want this for all of us, not just minutes here and there, not just going by. I don't want to be a passerby in my life. I want to be an active participant, and I want to make time for the things that genuinely feed and energize me, you know? Because the other zones, they take from you, they empty my cup. But these zones fill my cup. So the more I do, the more falls into the saucer. The more falls into the saucer, I can give to everybody else. Okay? So I want to make sure that I make time for these specifically. That's so good. Oh, that's so good. I love this clarity. If you're new around here, hi, my name is Lynn, and I'm documenting my year of becoming. This is my year of pushing out of every boundary that I've ever set in my own way, because I strongly believe that if you can see it, you can have it. And I see it. I see the life that I want clearly, and I'm going after it. And I hope you come with me, because we out. Take care. I'll see y'all tomorrow.